Toni and Troy, Abandoned Roller Rink Part 2, Season 2, Episode 7. Toni wakes up the next day. She looks around and finds herself in a dim chamber. Where am I? How did I get here? More importantly, I think I know why Kat slipped at the last race. I have to. Toni gets up and starts moving, but she falls back, realizing her hands are tied to a large beam. Oh no! I'm stuck here! Help! Somebody help me! Meanwhile, Troy comes to the roller rink first thing in the morning. He still hasn't found Toni and is very worried. I can't find her. Where did Toni go? Hey, Troy, did you find Toni yet? No, I didn't. Guys, I know you have a race to prepare for today, but can you please help me find Toni? Sure, man. What do you need us to do? Troy and the Briscoe brothers looked for Toni all day, but were unable to find her. I don't know where to look anymore. Don't worry, man. We'll find her soon. Just stay calm. Jeff and Nick Briscoe prepare for their race later on in the day. They are going up against Austin and Jason. Just before the race, Nick goes to the washroom. I'll be back in a minute. Wait for me. Nick goes to the toilet and locks the door. After he's done, he gets up and tries to come out. The door is locked. Someone locked it from the outside. I can't get out. I have a race to compete in. Help! No one is able to help Nick. Suddenly, he starts shouting from the stall, and a lot of water starts gushing. Help! Somebody, help! Everyone hears the screams, and they rush to help Nick. They break down the door of the bathroom, open the stall, and see Nick is drenched in water. Whoa! What happened, Nick? Are you all right? That was not funny, guys. First, I got locked in there. Then I got sprayed with ice-cold water? Who did that? You guys did it, didn't you? Is this some cheap way for you to win the race? I didn't do anything, I swear. Me neither. Everyone looks at poor Nick. He is shivering from the cold water. This place is haunted, I tell you. It has to be. Who else could possibly be doing this? I don't know. That sounds a bit too much. Think about it. Toni mysteriously disappears, Kat slips and falls, I get trapped in the washroom, someone or something doesn't want us to continue racing. I remember Toni being doubtful as well before she disappeared. That's right. We should all just quit this race. No need to compete in this haunted place. If we do that, then maybe Toni would be found as well. But we've invested so much in this tournament and roller rink. We can't afford to abandon it. We'll figure this out. Yeah, we should get back to our race. Everyone is waiting. They get back to the race. Austin and Jason are going against the Briscoe brothers. On your mark, get set, go! Austin and Jason overpower the Briscoe brothers and win the race. The Briscoe brothers are really sad and frustrated. This is all because of that incident. Ugh, I am so mad. Our father Barry Briscoe never lost. It's all right. It's just a friendly competition. No need to get frustrated. We've worked very hard to get here. We can't lose because of these incidents. We're all friends here. Calm down, everybody. I'm really sorry you guys lost, but you can't get frustrated. The Briscoe brothers finally calm down. Sorry. Did you get any luck finding Toni? No, I didn't. It's all right. We'll find her. Meanwhile, Toni is struggling with untying herself from the beam. Ugh! I have to get out and tell everyone, but I am tied tightly. Toni continues to try to get loose, but to no avail. She tires herself out and has no choice but to give up. She falls on the floor and looks up. She notices an opening. Ah! If I climb this beam, it's open from the top. I can get free that way. Toni begins to climb the beam. She slowly moves her way upward inch by inch. She finally reaches the top and gets free of the shaft. Oh, good thing I've been working out. Now I gotta get out of here and warn everyone. Toni stumbles around the room and notices a light switch. She turns it on. The place appears to be some sort of a dungeon room. Toni sees skeletons tied to beams, just the way she was bound. This place is terrifying. I haven't been the first victim here. There have been others too? Those skeletons look like they were tied here and left for dead. How horrible! Toni wanders around the dungeon. She sees a passage ahead of her and heads towards it. She comes to a small room filled with computers. Toni picks up a VHS tape and inserts it in the computer. She plays it. The tape starts rolling, and some footage begins playing on the TV.
The skitsy roller rink was closed after the recent tragic events were brought to light. The roller rink has many mysterious incidents. Plenty of contestants reported accidents.
Accidents? That seems orchestrated. That does ring a bell, doesn't it?
However, the last straw was when the famous duo of Jim and Jerry were involved in a terrible accident that resulted in their untimely deaths. The duo popularized speed skating in the city with their incredible skills. They went undefeated for a consecutive 174-0 win streak. Their streak is still unbroken to this day and cannot be broken anymore, as both the boys passed away at the tender age of 16.
That's really sad.
The funeral proceedings are underway as the community mourns this terrible loss.
Hey, wait a minute. I recognize those guys. Ha! I knew it. That confirms it. I knew they were in on it. Meanwhile, at the stadium the next day, Troy is very worried about Toni. It's not like her to disappear and not check in. It's been almost 2 days. I can't find Toni. I have to figure out where she is. Be that it may, unfortunately, without Toni, you can't compete in today's race either. I'm afraid so. We will have to forfeit. Well, I wish our victory was under some other circumstances, but it is what it is. You tell us if you find anything, and we'd be glad to help out, Troy. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Back at the dungeon, Toni had been wandering around the pathways for days. It's like a maze in here, and without any light, I can't seem to find a way out. Toni goes back to the chamber where she was locked up initially. She finds a flashlight there. Finally, something useful. I can use this to get out. Toni uses the flashlight to look around and wanders around the dungeon. All the pathways are filled with dust and spiderwebs. She finally figures a path that has been cleaned up by footsteps. This must be the right way. I'm almost there. Meanwhile, everyone above the dungeon is investigating the disappearance of Toni. Jason is checking out all the lockers one by one with Nick Briscoe. We don't have to look inside the lockers, dude. There's nothing here. Troy says Toni went missing after she said she'd check out the locker room. There ought to be some clues on where she is. You're overthinking this too much, dude. I think that's enough. Toni can't be inside some lockers here. Jason ignores what Nick said and continues to check all the lockers. He was worried, as everyone else was, about Toni. Jason comes over to the Briscoe brothers' locker and is about to open it. Hey, you don't need to check that one. I think that's enough. Why? What's the matter? Well, it's our locker. You shouldn't peek into someone else's locker. Suddenly, Jeff comes into the room. What's going on here? I was just telling Jason why it's such a stupid idea to waste our time here in the locker room, right, brother? Yeah. We shouldn't waste our time here. Let's go somewhere else. Jeff attempts to drag Jason out of the locker room, but Jason refuses. Why are you two so against the idea of having your stuff checked? Do you have something to hide? Huh? Oh, us? No. We have nothing to hide. Yeah, we didn't do anything. Then why wouldn't you mind if I check this locker here, huh? Jason quickly opens the locker and sees a huge switch hidden inside it. What's this? Oh, you wouldn't want to press that. It's nothing. Jason presses the switch, and suddenly a small space opens beneath them, leading into the dungeon. Where did this come from? What? Suddenly, Jeff puts his hands on Jason's mouth. He strangles him while Nick puts a bag over his head. Jason passes out. The innocent expressions on the face of the Briscoe brothers suddenly changes into a cold and resentful one. He was really close. It's great that we took care of him in time. Grab him and take him to the dungeon. I'll follow in a minute after I clean this place up. Nick takes Jason's body and heads to the dungeon below. Meanwhile, Toni was almost on her way to escaping. She suddenly hears footsteps coming towards her. A light begins to shine against her. Oh no! Someone's coming! I have to hide! But there's nowhere to hide! What do I do? Toni runs back to the chamber in which she was locked up. She hides the flashlight and pretends to put her hands behind her, looking like she's all tied up. A few minutes later, Nick Briscoe walks into the chamber room with Jason on his shoulders. It was you! I knew it! You were the one who kidnapped us! Nick ignores Toni and places Jason next to a beam. He grabs Jason's hands and ties him up the same way he tied up Toni. You won't get away with this! When I escape, I'll tell the police about this, and all of you will be arrested. Are you listening to me? Nick turns around and looks at Toni. He then lets out a big sarcastic laugh. Try as you might, you can't escape this dungeon. It has been used countless times before us. You see those skeletons over there? Those are people that have rotted tied up here. So tell all your stories to whoever you think can listen. Toni looks at Nick with an angry look. Why are you doing all of this? Well, since we won't be coming to get you, and this is the last time we'll meet, I might as well let you know. Tomorrow, we will be crowned the new speed skating champions. With Jason and you out of the picture, and the other team injured, no one can stop us. Jeff walks in and sees Nick talking to Toni. You selfish scum! You did all this just to win a trophy? And $5,000. You shut up. You know nothing. Our cousins were the pioneers of this stadium right here. Both Jim and Jerry were the longest reigning champions with an undefeated 174-0 win streak. They built this place from scratch. It was their blood, sweat, and tears that brought people into speed skating. And what did they get in return? Nothing. No one remembers them. We intend to keep the win streak within our family, reestablishing our family's legacy. No one deserves that trophy and money more than us. Nobody! And if anyone is stupid enough to get in our way, they'd end up here. Kinda like you two right now. For all of your crimes, you two deserve nothing but jail. Jason finally wakes up from all the commotion. Hey, what's going on here? We tried to warn you, but you didn't understand. When Rick and Kat tried to beat us, we sabotaged their skates. When you tried to be over-efficient and investigate the matter, we brought you here. And now this idiot, he was peeking in our lockers even though we warned him. Serves him right. What about when you got locked in the washroom? Nick and Jeff both let out a big laugh. You still haven't figured that out yet? You have to make yourself a victim to remove all doubts, don't you? As of now, everyone above thinks this place is haunted. Let us go, or you'll pay for this. You sit there comfortably cuffed in that chair while we grab our rightful place as the new champions. Come on, brother. We can't waste much time here. People would get suspicious. The brothers leave while Jason is struggling aggressively with his chains. Once they are gone, Toni quietly whispers, "Hey, Jason, calm down." "How can you expect me to calm down, Toni? They left us to die here." "It's okay. I have a plan." "Oh, really? Then what is it?" "Check this out." Toni moves her hands and demonstrates that she never had any restraints. She was just pretending. "Whoa! How'd you do that? Let me try that." It's not working." "No, you silly. I managed to escape earlier." "Oh, I get it. So you can help me get loose." "Wait. Let me first find something to unlock you. You stay here. I'll be right back." Toni grabs the flashlight and starts looking for the keys. She shortly comes back in a few minutes with a whole bunch of keys. She finally frees Jason. Meanwhile, Jeff and Nick come out of the locker room and seal the dungeon entrance. Suddenly, Troy walks in. Jeff panics and tries to make some conversation. "Hey, did you find Toni?" "No, I didn't." Suddenly, Austin runs into the room with Kat behind him. "Hey guys, you wouldn't believe it, but I can't find Jason either. It seems he's disappeared too." "Oh, that's awful news. How could that have happened?" Did you see Jason today, brother?" "As a matter of fact, I didn't, brother. Now, where could he have gone?" This is just setback after setback. First the incident with Kat, then Toni disappears, and now Jason? It really seems like this place is cursed or haunted. It seems so. I don't want to ask this, but does this mean that Austin and Jason will lose by forfeit? Yes, that would be the case. I was wrong to have pushed to reopen this roller rink. It looks like every team in this tournament has suffered because of me. Yeah, even poor Nick here got drenched in cold water, but at least he's fine now, and they get to win the grand prize. Troy then moves his head over to Nick and eyes him suspiciously. Yeah, that's really convenient that you now win the entire tournament because of all these accidents. What do you mean? Suddenly, a loud knock on the floor is heard. The expressions of the Briscoe brothers are filled with fear. Hey, what's that? Where's it coming from? Oh, that's probably nothing. Just those rats under the floor. We had this place fumigated before we opened it. Suddenly, Toni's loud voice is heard from beneath them. It's us! Toni and Jason! Hurry! Press the switch! The Briscoe brothers' locker switch! The Briscoe brothers suddenly attack Austin and Kat, but Troy slips away. He rushed to the locker and presses the switch. The space beneath them opens, and Toni and Jason escape. We got you now! You're outnumbered now! Everyone works together to pin them down, and the Briscoe brothers can't move. Security comes in shortly after, and the Briscoe brothers are taken down. Troy calls the police, and Toni tells them everything. Kidnapping, attempted murder, you boys have created a lot of mess in here. You'll be heading to jail. Ugh, we'll get you back for this. Mark my words, you'll pay for messing with the Briscoe brothers. It's over, son. It's no use. We're taking you with us. Well, that pretty much ends all this dilemma. Let's get back to skating then. If you like our videos, don't forget to subscribe